Hello, everybody. Welcome to 911.
The podcast that St. Helena didn't know it needed.
This is Hillary.
And this is Chris. And thanks for joining us on 911 Podcast.
Hello, Chris. Thanks for being here today.
I had no choice.
We are doing episode 12.
We're counting these still.
We are.
Okay, wow.
And they keep getting better.
According to any actual metric, or are we just like guessing here?
No, we have like actual followers on Instagram now.
Wow.
Like
how
more
many?
than just like my family and close friends. And you occasionally.
Occasionally. Yeah, I actually lost the password, so I'm not really sure what's going on Instagram. But if you follow us, we thank you.
And
so where are we today?
We are at a very special place. We branched out. We are at Dakota Shy Winery. Do you want to introduce our guests?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're here with Todd and Ashley today of Dakota Shy. Really excited to be here. This is a neat property. And excited to hear about kind of how you guys came into the biz and kind of find out some more info about it. Thanks for the awesome champagne already.
Indeed.
Alcohol is one of our key components to making this podcast. So we appreciate that. So I guess I should ask you guys, what do you think we actually do on this podcast?
I would assume that it's a good excuse to get buzzed up on a Tuesday night with some locals.
That's exactly
that
right.
That may be the best version of what we do here that I've ever heard.
Yeah. Talk life, talk shop.
Yeah.
Spend time with some friends on a Tuesday evening.
I dig it. So tell us a little, before we get into the meat and potatoes of this, which is the St. Helena Police Log. Let's hear a little bit about the winery and how you guys got here.
Well, I'm originally from North Dakota, and I moved out here, 17 years ago, and I started waiting tables at Martini House, Old Spring Street Cafe, for all the old school locals. It was just before my time, but I moved here right at the kind of the launch of Martini House, and that's really where I kind of put my feet in the ground here in the valley, and have really lived in St. Helena or worked in St. Helena all 17 years. So I worked at Ravana Family Vineyards for a few years. Then I went up to Hourglass for 4 years. Very special place up there. And then started Dakota Shy back in 2012. And then moved to this property in 2014.
Awesome.
There we go. And Ashley, you're new here?
Yes, I'm new here. Grew up in St. Helena, long-term family. That my mom's side of the family has been here for many generations, and my dad's family's been here since the 70s. So my brothers and I grew up on Oak Avenue, just around the corner from the RLS, and we've all made our way back to the valley after school, and love living in St. Helena.
Even though it's turned into such a high crime area?
There are some downsides, I will say that. And occasionally reading the police log makes me think, am I going to raise my children in a community like this?
For an example, things to watch out for in St. Helena. Thursday, August 13th, at 23:34, it's 11:30 at night, police arrested a 25-year-old St. Helena man on suspicion of brandishing a samurai sword during an argument.
Oh, wow. And this is the August 2020 police
Oh,
log.
thank you. Yeah, so we're doing the August 2020
Wasn't
police
there a
log.
samurai sword in a recent episode, and they were like swinging around the Safeway parking lot?
It would be a Hunt Avenue store, Hillary, but perhaps they were.
Okay.
Yeah,
So they got out, and they're back.
they're back.
Same guy,
Same guy.
same samurai,
Look,
probably.
Just so we know, I'm a fan of ninjas. So I really enjoy them. Growing up, I had throwing stars, so I'm on board with the samurai guy.
I mean, was he really hurting anyone, or was he just out like doing his thing?
I don't know.
Maybe it was like Tai Chi in the morning, but like samurai.
He was doing
Chi.
it just early.
I think Tai Chi's more Chinese and samurai's more Japanese, but
Yeah, unfortunately, that's
We have a new cultural attaché. Welcome to the team, Todd.
Well, Todd's one of his very favorite movies is
The Last Samurai. It doesn't get any
Karate Kid.
better.
okay.
It doesn't get any better. You guys should all check it out. In fact, if you haven't. To follow, actually, to lead. Hold on. To lead, the best movie is Dances with Wolves. Absolutely far and away the number
Is that
one movie
because it's
ever
in
made.
North Dakota?
South Dakota, but
South
yes,
Dakota, okay.
it is. It's pure American spirit, man.
How about Fargo? Where does that fall in the
I
Dakotas?
lived in Fargo. I went to school in Fargo for a couple of years. It's quite a superior town. A lot of people bag it because it's been seen on TV as a bit comical, but it's a good town. Good town.
Your sister lives there.
My sister lives there. My 2 nieces live there. I was just there a week and a half ago.
Okay.
Good place to visit. Great place to leave.
Is Fargo crime like St. Helena crime?
I think it's probably a little bit heavier. I mean, it's
Is that
complex here.
possible?
It's complex here.
It's a good way to put it. Well, we have had some graffiti lately. A caller requested extra patrol on Money Way due to current graffiti situation. That makes me want to leave here and go see what the graffiti actually is.
Money Way. So we're talking like behind
Like
Juni's.
the alley,
behind-
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I told you earlier I saw some graffiti today that made me laugh. It just said, "This year sucks." That was it.
I hope that's what's on Money Way.
It's probably there.
If it's there, we should leave it because
It's pretty.
no one disagrees.
It's basically the St. Helena Banksy.
Right.
Where's the balloon?
Exactly.
Oh, how about this? Saturday, August 15th, 20:51 at night. A report of a neighbor hammering nails for 45 minutes on Laguna Seca Court. When the caller asked him to do that during the daytime, instead, he got upset, called the person names, and waved his hammer.
There's a lot of waving of weapons around. Laguna Seca, okay, that's
Where
in
is that?
By the trailer park.
that's
Yeah, that was
the mobile home.
Tards.
Yeah, I love it. I grew up there, man. I love that place.
Yeah.
It's good people out there.
Good folks. Yeah.
With hammers.
Sorry, now I feel
Hey.
bad for saying trailer park.
Carpentry is.
Horrible.
It's a skill.
Jesus was a carpenter.
Jesus was a carpenter.
Got to edit that out. Start getting hate mail from Vineyard Valley.
You know it's gonna come from everywhere, so just turn it up. That'll probably get you guys more.
Have we got any complaint? So Hillary, since you do everything with this podcast, have we received any negative feedback
I
yet?
don't think so.
It's impressive.
I mean,
Have you got any positive feedback?
we have gotten positive.
Okay.
I don't think we've gotten any negative. My dad does text me after every episode and gives us a grade. Last week was a B plus.
All right.
Who was B plus? Or who was on the
Marcus.
Marcus Marquez?
It was a great episode, but he
Job,
said
Unofficial
I get too
man.
excited and I start to like talk with the guests, and he's like, you got to cool it a little bit. So he only gave us a B plus.
Hey,
So hopefully this episode we bump up to an A minus.
That's
A
all.
minus. That's
way better than anything I ever got in Tom's PE class. So if we're gonna get into the Dakota Shy Cabernet here,
Please do.
I'm gonna get some of that. Hill, you ready? Who else? Talk to
So
us
yeah,
about
this is my baby. This is where it all kind of got started for us. I just had a great fortune of having tremendous mentors when I came into Napa, both from Pat Coletto and Todd Humphreys in the restaurant scene. I had some great mentors at Rivanna Family Vineyards, and then Tom Garrett and I, who I met at Rivanna, he's actually the guy that gave me my first shot in a cellar back in the 04 vintage. And so he put me in as a cellar intern in 2004, and really I've made wine 17 vintages, the last 17 vintages with him. And we started Dakota Shy together really with tip money that I squirreled away. Yeah, you know, it's a fascinating place. Martini House was such an institution of awesomeness, of opportunity. They just brought the top talent there, and I was just lucky enough to run with them. Really, you got to understand. Growing up where I grew up, I'm talking somewhere in between an IHOP and Applebee's qualification of being a waiter, and I'm waiting tables at this Michelin star restaurant, making goofy money and meeting really the locals, the soul of the valley that makes it go, and so much of that paralleled to what I grew up with farming back in the Dakotas, a lot of similarities. And that's just kind of where I fell in love with the place and then understood that I could belong here because I had that sort of rhythm of the land in my blood. I understood what it meant to be working the dirt. And so, that's really kind of how it got started. And we bought a couple tons of grapes back in the 08 vintage, and that was the start. So what we're drinking tonight is it's kind of a young pup, but it's the 2018 Dakota Shy Cabernet. But this is Hillside Vineyards in St. Helena in Oakville. Combination. It's got a little Cab Franc Petit Verdot in it, but this is kind of our under-promise, over-deliver, just dominate rock and roll Cabernet.
Yeah, it smells great. Great nose on it.
I love your explanation of St. Helena because I feel like that's always what we're trying to like represent here is because it is such a unique place.
It's so
It's
special.
just a bunch of wealthy farmers.
Yeah, but you know what?
With
You know,
soul.
but you know what those farmers were before they had the wealth. They were first generation immigrants. They were
Yes.
grinders. They were blue collars. They They understood what it meant to grind away, middle class. So that's instilled here, and that's what I love so much
Well,
about
they
it.
keep that mentality too.
For sure.
Which is exactly what you're saying.
This-
So even with all this wealth, you'd have no idea these people are.
This
who
is
they
the
are.
pinnacle of Napa Valley. Napa Valley is one of the elite regions of the world for growing grapes, for really an industry that does the wine. And so for me, there's no other place. This is home for me. I know I'm not a local. Ashley reminds me religiously that unless I'm born here, I will never be local. My entire adult life has been spent in the city of St. Helena, but I've accepted that I'll farm out some locals in the future.
Well, we'll welcome you.
All right, thanks.
Now, have you ever made the police log?
God, I don't know. I got to think back. I've made police logs before. I don't think I made them in St. Helena. I think the catalyst of me being in St. Helena was because I was making too many police logs, to be honest with you. But those were days long ago. So.
Moving on.
So I've got a good one here. This kind of parallels into what I'm doing right now. So a report of a mobile home parked in a parking lot at Oak Pine for 2 days. All right, so here's the story. First of all, let the guy be, all right? You don't know, I mean, what he's going through, what's going on. So, right, I actually...
From experience.
So I recently embarked on a journey called the Shyway Tour. I bought a motorhome, and I have zero musical talent, and so I wanted to be a rock star. It wasn't going to happen with the music side of things, and so we bought this RV. We wrapped it in this really cool black, labeled it out, and we've been driving across the country for the last 6 weeks or so. I actually just got back. I think it was 14 states, 38 days, 17 events, just under 6,000 miles, just charging through America. Very, very cool. It's been a lot of fun. But one night I had an event in Minneapolis, and I needed to be on the north side of Minneapolis, and I just didn't want to stay at this person's home in their parking lot with my RV. So there was this campground, great campground, and I was going to get to it, but we got out of there late, and the campground closed. So I'm like, shit, what am I going to do? We can't find anyway. I Google, and apparently you can park these things in Walmarts and Sam's Club supercenters.
Okay.
At least that's what we were told. So we drive this thing in, and it's about 2 a.m., dead asleep. And with RVs, you don't want to set them up. You have to put the jacks down. You have to do all this extending stuff. It's a pain in the ass, and we had to be up early. So I was sleeping on the sofa. We had a drop-down bunk where my buddy was sleeping, and 2 a.m., and all of a sudden, boom, boom, boom. And I mean boom, boom, boom. Pounding on the doors. Absolute sheer terror panic. I wake up. There's two guys smoking cigarettes, looking at me, barely squeaking out English. The accent was so thick. I don't know where they were from, Eastern Europe, something like that.
Not
I
the
thought they
state
were
you were.
literally trying to rob us. And apparently you can't park in Walmart parking lots
Good to
with your
know.
RVs. So if
I
anyone
haven't
was
heard this.
wondering,
I've heard you could.
I
yes,
heard-
right?
yeah.
No, we Googled this, and it was,
Who were they?
first of all, they were Walmart employees, and they sucked.
Did you ask for a manager?
No, I didn't. I
Karen.
honestly, I tried to palm the guy $100 just to go away, and he wouldn't even take it. So I was, it was a rough wake
Did you
up.
move to Sam's Club?
No, you know what we did? It's a true story, and we did this while asking. We drove to some. It was a sort of in between, like a Motel 6 and maybe like a Best Western. And we parked in the 6 handicap spots that were unoccupied. However, we did go in and ask if it would be okay, and we got up at 7 a.m. and we left from there. But
Okay.
to the point of the mobile home parked in a parking lot, you don't know where these guys have been or what's going on. Give them a day. I mean, give them a day or two. Rude.
For 2 days, though.
Well, listen.
What parking lot do we think it was?
I would
Pine.
guess.
Oak and Pine.
How many parking lots are? Oh, Oak and Pine.
Oh,
Oh, that's good.
Oh, That's near my
I know.
Did you
office.
call it in?
It's not me.
Wait a minute, I saw that there.
Did you?
Yes. It's not the one that you park next to the clinic, but
Oh,
the
the
other
across the
one.
street?
Yes, and I noticed it because knowing I'm very observant of RVs these
Oh,
days.
it's a whole world.
And I was like,
a
hey,
whole world
that
this
guy's-
RV thing.
There's an RV parked over there. And it's
Okay.
by that little, it was by that little shed that's over there.
Okay.
Yeah.
It really is an entire new world. Like you
Is
got to
it like
find where
motorcycle
you.
gangs, but RV gangs?
Yes.
They're awesome people. They're very supportive people. They're very unique people.
I'll take it.
Well, you get to go to a lot of truck stops, which
Oh no! Listen, I'm full
Is a
on
plus.
showering in like Pilot J, Flying J,
Flying J.
Pilot showers with like Trucker City. Like take my ticket. So here's the reason why. I will not use the water. So 2 rules in the RV. You do not talk when we're passing semis to me at all. If you are riding shotgun with me, no talking during passing semis. Number 2, there are no number 2s in the RV. We don't pump at our house. So the showers and the water and all that stuff, I'm not stopping at an RV dump every 3 days to hook up my hose and dump everything. It's not my thing. So instead, I choose to, on occasion, pull over and stop at the Flying J Pilot trucker centers, which I must say,
was gonna say,
are
aren't they pretty
quite
clean?
impressive. Yes, quite impressive. So I've been a fan.
So wait, so you guys like, let me get this straight. You load everything up. You load all your wine up. You have like, is it like a wine cooler in the back, and then you go do all these wine dinners. You sell wine and everything.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's basically like a mobile tasting room. It's like taking Napa to the rest of the country. I mean, there's obviously just a stack of challenges that as a community and industry, the globe has faced basically. But
Have you
for
patented
us,
this? I don't think anyone's doing this right now. It's a good
I gotta throw it out. I've heard some stories. David Long did this back in the day. It's been cooking for years.
Yeah.
Really, what I want to do is go party with my buddies and cruise and see America and figure out a way to monetize that. And I've been
think you
lucky
did.
enough to kind of create this little deal that we're doing right now. So
I love it.
Sounds like the start to a reality TV show.
I think we're gonna have to take our podcast on the road
on the
too.
road.
there you go. Love it.
Can we
Skyway Highway.
sit in the back of the RVs, their
listen.
room?
the more the merrier. Yeah. No number 2s. No talking past the semis.
I have a treat for us tonight.
Vintage.
So, a vintage. So normally we do a vintage log, as our many listeners know. Our 2000. We just hit 2000.
Not all those people are listening.
They will. We have a crime from January 26, 1898 in St. Helena.
Goodness glaciers.
While trying to find a recent murder, we stumbled upon this one. Do you want to read it, or do you want me to do that?
You should start out. There's
Okay.
some really good lines in there.
So, this is a hideous crime, the shocking details of St. Helena's murder, a pressed Democrat representative at the scene of a tragedy in Napa Valley. That's the entire title.
That's quite the title. Concise.
So, the pretty little city of St. Helena, nestling in the picturesque Napa Valley, just a few miles from the Sonoma line, is now shocked and dismayed over one of the most hideous crimes, bristling with the darkest sense of humor, frightful in the details.
First of all, can we pause for a moment to say the writing back in 1898?
No wonder it took them so long to do things. I was like,
Well, this must have been done
Nine-
was this quill and pen or typewriter?
Don't even know.
Or quill and
This is
ink?
yeah, quill and ink.
Quill and ink.
Yeah.
when were typewriters invented?
I don't know. That's a 1909 right there. The typewriter in the tasting room.
Okay,
right now.
so this is 11 years
Straight.
before that.
Yeah.
So there we
Benjamin
go.
Franklin style.
So what happened, I'll give us a little synopsis. William A. Clark was murdered. He was believed to be murdered by his brother. All because both of them liked William's wife.
Wow.
A
Well,
love triangle.
William's kind of got dibs on that already. It is his
Yeah,
wife.
he does. However,
does.
can we hear about
we-
William's wife?
So,
I mean, she must have been
Mrs. Clark.
stunning.
the Cleopatra
Must
of
have
Napa
been-
Valley.
So, to paralyze the feelings of the woman of St. Helena, who's known as Mrs. Clark, not however to respect her, many of them had known her character long before the awful story of the crime. A Press Democrat reporter spent several hours in St. Helena Sunday and visited the scene of the tragedy. Everywhere around the town seemed gloomy. A pall seemed to envelope the vicinity of the little homestead where the cruel bullet fulfilled its ghastly mission and robbed W.A. Clark of his life.
The cruel bullet fulfilled its ghastly mission.
A glimpse was caught in Mrs. Clark's face, to say the least of it, was repulsive.
Oh.
The pictures of her that have appeared in the metropolitan galleries, if anything, flatter her. She is big, ungainly in figure, and not the least bit pretty. What surprises the people of St. Helena and everyone that knows her, whether by sight or by description, is that a man, especially the brother of who had taken her as a wife, could be infatuated with such a creature. To commit a foul murder in order to marry her, coupled almost certain discovery of crime, and accompanied reward of capital punishment for the offense.
Wow.
So basically, the reporter cannot believe that not only does this woman have a husband already,
Yeah.
but that
someone else
husband's
wanted
brother
her.
is
So the question is,
also
what does the
interested.
reporter look like?
Yes.
What kind
You
of gimmicks does this woman
Could you
offer?
Solid
imagine if
roasting.
you read an article? Could you imagine if our police log was that descriptive?
Well, firstly, we would know who everybody was in all of these complaints.
All we get is a sad dog. Now
Right.
they used to get a ghastly woman of terrible proportions. You know, I mean,
Right.
So it goes on to say she wasn't pitied. Everyone didn't care about her. They left her in her sorrow, in quotes. Many
Sheesh.
people are ready to accuse the wretched woman of being party to the crime. It goes on to say they went to the brother's house to let him know that his brother was dead, and he was shocked. They woke him up.
however, there's more to the story.
There
The boots,
There
always.
is. Yeah, we're getting to the boots. We're getting excited. I just gotta find it.
Tom's gonna say, Chris, pump the brakes.
Yeah, exactly.
B plus.
I feel
Let's
like
see.
we're circling around B minus.
Ooh. You guys, though, George W. Colgan was the first person to bring the news to Santa Rosa. Do we think this is any relation to Colgan Winery?
Well, it's spelled differently.
Okay, so never mind.
So,
Not
Start there.
But Colgan Winery,
I mean, Anne is Vanderbilt, Tennessee, I believe. So maybe
we're looking
there's
for
some lineage.
sponsors, Colgan
Okay.
Winery.
right.
And they
Colgan
believed that he was all part of this because it had been rumored in the community that George Clark, on 2 occasions, tried to poison his brother by putting poison I can't pronounce in his coffee.
Wait, you're a doctor and you can't pronounce
Yeah,
this
really.
specific type of poison?
Strychnine?
Okay.
Strychnine.
Strychnine. Do you know what that is?
No.
Okay.
But she's a Jeopardy superstar. Like, she just needs to get on.
I do love Jeopardy.
Okay. Well,
And I would kill all of you.
the officers found under
With
the brother's
strychnine.
bed that these shoes were wet with fresh mud. A few minutes later, those shoes corresponded with the prints in the mud in the murdered man's house. Little by little, the yoke was collapsed upon the brother's shoulders, and he is now awaiting trial in Napa County Jail.
Little by little, the yoke. Wow.
So that's our throwback.
No, my brother's dead? Oh no.
Oh,
I've been sleeping
my.
here for 10 hours.
Yeah.
Those boots with mud? No.
Sir, is there anyone that can give you an alibi? His wife?
She's hideous, though. You don't want to talk about her.
Ghastly woman.
So our crime, I feel like, has improved over the years.
Yeah. I mean, that's, wow.
That's a pretty intense murder.
I know.
A poisoning? No, wait. How did
No,
he die?
he was shot.
He was shot.
A ghastly bullet
After
fulfilled its
trying
mission.
to poison
So I guess
twice?
it's not strong poison.
Right. Yeah.
And in his coffee. I mean, I wouldn't drink coffee then.
I mean, things have improved for couples in St. Helena because on Sunday, August the 16th, at 1:30 in the morning, report of a man and a woman on Pope Street with the woman sitting on the ground looking upset. They told police they were just taking a walk. End of story. Right? So I really feel we've come a long way in St. Helena.
Well,
But were they?
They were not.
I feel like
1:30 in the morning. Anybody taking a walk?
Oh, this is like we had this whole thing where I thought they fell in love and he proposed, and you're like, no.
No, they're having an argument.
Yeah.
Yeah. Come on, Hillary.
I like to think
Be
that
realists.
I'm not.
They were coming out of a local downtown bar.
Uh-huh.
And he had just proposed, and they were walking to celebrate.
At Anna's.
That's it.
I want an invite to that wedding.
Fireball for all.
Oh, goodness. Report of suspicious man going in and out of driveways on Pratt Avenue. He picked up something from someone's driveway, climbed a tree, and was watching people. He was described as a white man, approximately 19 to 20 years old, with brown hair, wearing glasses, a blue face mask, a clean white shirt, black shorts, brown flip-flops, and a white hat.
Wow, detailed.
Not dirty shirt.
Clean.
Shirt.
OxyClean white shirt.
What do we think he took, and what was he watching?
And why did he have to climb a tree to do it?
A lot of questions there
Yeah.
for that one.
More answers.
And a young gentleman.
How about this? A caller saw a driver throw a lit cigarette out their window while driving west on Pope Street. This is August 16th on Sunday. You remember what happened on August 17th?
I do.
Yeah.
The car was described as a green and turquoise pickup with a camper shell. The driver was a white man with red, bushy hair. Gingers.
Middletown?
Gingers.
Middletown?
Perhaps. But wow, what a
Firstly,
complete loser. Hey.
Yeah.
What? Yes.
Because then, check this out. The next day, wait, no, that was Sunday, 17th, Monday, 6:58. Report of a fire in the hills east of St. Helena. 7:06. The fire was seen in the hills east of Rutherford Road. 7:09. Report of smoke somewhere between Spring Mountain Road and Sulphur Springs. Didn't turn into a fire there. 7:23. Report of a fire on the west side of the valley. Holy smokes! Firestorm Part 1.
Part 1.
How was the Firestorm Part 1 for you guys here at Dakota Shy?
Well, I will say this. I was awake watching the lightning that morning and saw the one that struck out in Childs.
Yeah.
And which is, just up the road from us. And that was then, you guys started cruising by with your sirens, and I figured it wasn't a good situation
It was
out
pretty
there.
intense. That was pretty intense.
Yeah, I mean, for us, that was such an odd thing to watch. You knew it was going to be bad just because when you have thunderstorms and just rip-roaring thunder the way that it was very eerie. So a hard last 6 weeks. I mean, you know it better than all of us, really. You've been out there fighting them for us. So tip of the hat to truly local heroes and unsung superstars, man. God bless you guys for doing what you do and protecting. Really, I look at it like this is my life's work and everything I've built, and I have people that are close to me. I speak of Hourglass. Jeff Smith is a tremendous friend, great friend, tremendous brand, tremendous people. That opportunity that he gave me early in my career, Dakota Shy it's just another brand. I mean, there's hundreds of brands in Napa. It's not what it is today without a space like that. And I look at what you guys do, protecting our way of life. And I look to Jeff, and obviously it was pretty tragic. He lost quite a bit up at Hourglass. They'll rebuild the winery, and everything will be all right. But just digging in and doing what you guys do, it's just, I don't know how to articulate it well enough other than just to say thank you.
It's wild. Well, thanks. Yeah, the community support has been just so cool. Been incredible. It's a long month and a half. But
here we are.
We're here. We're off. We haven't done a podcast since the fires, actually.
No.
Yeah.
You were a little busy.
A little busy.
Busy.
Yeah. Were you guys able to get in and out of the winery during that?
One of the cool things, yeah, there is. One of the cool things is, and we started getting some slack from the Highway Patrol and the Sheriff's Office, but cool thing about Dakota Shy property is it's actually part of the old Rancho Camus land grant. And if you go way back to the 1850s, it was the old Silverado Trail line long before there were, the highway or the Silverado Trail. And so there's this little back gate on the, south end of our property.
From the Silverado Trail.
From the Silverado Trail, where you can just kind of quick break off. And they were blocking 128 as they have multiple times now over the last few years. But everybody on the hill, all of our neighbors or friends, they got stuff in their fermenters. They're cooking, they're going, they're in mid-harvest. They need to get the grapes off the vines. And so we popped the gate and, hope to keep this sort of sanely and quiet so we can continue to do it.
Trust me, no one will listen to this podcast. You're secretly
I hope that we don't have to continue to do that. But ultimately, I think that I know, probably at least a dozen folks that access that, and people were bringing their trucks here, taking their motorbikes off, and then busting up into the hills to see what they needed to do to save their livelihoods. So it was a cool space. Lucky to be able to do that for our neighbors.
Yeah, because it was right at Chapelet and coming this way, and then they put kind of big dozer trail
Yeah.
in between there and the fire. Luckily, it was kind of a backing fire at that point. But I mean, it could have, one wind shift, and
Right.
you guys are right in the line of fire.
It's close enough for me. Yeah, close enough for me, man.
Well, what's the history of the property though? So when did you guys buy it? How did that all?
So we bought this from, we bought this back in 2014. I found it in 13, and when I say I found it, Tom's wife Casey,
Yeah.
she is a bulldog she's like, you got to see this property, and what you got to understand is, like, again, small town farm kid, waiting tables, bought a couple tons of grapes, making a couple hundred cases of wine. I really have no business looking at these properties, but this property in particular had this existing use permit, and the parcel was like a 6-acre parcel, and so the 90 ordinance basically said you have to have 10 acres. But the family who was living here previous, he made like 4 barrels of Chardonnay in this dingy garage. I wouldn't cure salami in it, but he made wine out of it. God bless him. But a permit is a permit, and that was the beauty and sort of the magic of this place. So it was part of the original Rancho Camus land grant. George owned it. 1849, I believe, was the transition. I can't believe the name slips. How am I not remembering the name that we bought it? The family that we bought it from. It's the Crocker. Well, DeLemer Crocker family.
Yeah.
But a very historic family. I think a lot of people, actually, where we're sitting right now used to be a tennis court, and I think a lot of people, a lot of St. Helena locals and natives grew up kind of coming here and playing tennis and having their tennis lessons. Quite literally, where we're sitting right here, this is a huge tennis court surrounded by 200-plus-year-old, 200 orange trees. It was a big citrus grove.
Hence why you're going to sell oranges.
No. Well, if tourists don't come, I may be selling oranges. Baker's dozen.
Well, after they hear this podcast, people are going to flock.
Yeah.
That's true.
I think so. This place is, it's like Teflon. It'll bounce back. If this place doesn't, then no place will. So
Yeah.
I feel good about it. And like you said, the community is just rock star all the way.
I love it.
Okay, so here we are, Wednesday, August 19th, 15:09. So
3 p.m. in the afternoon.
3 o'clock. You guys are real good at that. I have a picture saved in my favorites that converts the time that I have to look at every time. I could just memorize it, but I just go to my pictures. Anyways, report of a woman possibly under the influence, screaming at cars and waving her arms on Spring Street. An officer contacted the woman, and she was not drunk or on drugs. She was just making a TikTok video.
Oh, this is the best one of the lot.
Welcome to 2020.
2020.
So was she sober making a TikTok?
Yeah, she was not drunk or on drugs. Well, okay, let me rephrase that. She probably didn't fail a breathalyzer,
Okay.
or maybe she was not tested.
Is there a Tik Tocking under the influence?
I think this would be a safe COVID activity.
TikToking?
Yeah.
Well,
yourself.
clearly not. I mean, you're going to get the cops called on you. Although, screaming at cars and waving her arms on Spring Street. What an odd TikTok. I don't really.
I
I'm
never
not a
got the app.
TikToker.
Thank gosh.
What are you
though,
talking about? You cackle at those things.
I have TikTok.
You watch those things all the time and cackle
No,
all the
well,
Okay,
time.
a lot of them
I
are very
will
funny.
say, thank goodness TikTok was not around when I was like 13, because I would have been a top TikToker, and which would have probably hurt me today.
Yes.
Or it would have built our 911 podcast
Right.
audience.
And you have that much
It would have
confidence in
improved
my
my
13-year-old
dance,
self.
my dance moves for sure. You know where actually my dance moves shine is at Anna's on late nights.
Okay, so this was a little after the TikTok woman. At 1834,
6:34 at night.
okay, a caller said some spit landed in her eye on Monte Vista. She said she defended herself, and then police arrested a 23-year-old St. Helena woman on suspicion of assault and battery. I don't think this would really matter unless
It wasn't
COVID, right?
Yeah.
I disagree. If you spit in my direction, I'm coming for you. So it matters regardless. Maybe it amplifies a little bit with COVID, but it still
is
matters.
spitting the assault and battery?
Yes, absolutely. In today's
well-
world, it is. It should be though. You know
Yeah.
what? You got to be some special kind of stupid to spit on
a little bit
somebody.
later that day, A caller said someone was attacking him, hitting him in the head and face, and throwing a bottle of Gatorade at him on Monte Vista. Police arrested a 21-year-old St. Helena woman on suspicion of assault and battery.
Sisters.
Crazy sisters. Spitting and Gatorade. I mean, weapons of choice.
I think we had some animals one, don't we?
You
I
have,
have a good one. This is from Thursday, August 13th at 20:53. So what is that? 10?
853.
Oh, 8:53.
Yep. We're here to help.
Oh, right.
Military.
Yeah. Doctors and military, thank you. We have a pregnant sheep that escaped from its home on Crystal Springs Road, and St. Helena PD, they referred it to the sheriff's office.
How do they know it's pregnant?
It felt really bad. Sorry, I have like 10 bad jokes.
It was eating pickles and ice cream, so
Maybe it just got
That's
really
fantastic.
fluffy.
Yeah.
I don't know how they knew it was pregnant. I would assume.
Yeah.
Like
sheep do
mid-chip
ultrasound?
or which kind?
I don't know. What do
Again, why has Dr. Gold not been on our podcast?
right?
These are questions we
God.
could ask him.
Yeah.
We
Totally.
will have to do a pet special.
I also have another animal one. This was on the 7th of August, though. This was at 7:07 in the morning.
Ooh.
6
Early.
loose cows were wandering through a vineyard property near Vallejo Street, headed toward the creek. Okay, so who has cows?
Oh my God, no, we know this. We all know this.
We do?
Because I know who was out looking for them.
Oh.
His name rhymes with Mateo Abreu.
Oh, but Jad Gabriel.
Yeah, did you hear about this? Someone left the gate open at Abreu's place, and I think they came down from Buddy's house.
No, I
and
mean,
they
I know
got out.
those cows.
Buddy, is that your dad's friend?
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
shoots the guns all the time?
No, it's been the police log multiple times.
Oh.
Yes, that's
I
his
love
friend.
this guy. I mean, hey.
Yeah, no, he
Second
is
Amendment
definitely
rights.
a
Be
St.
mine.
Guns,
Helena.
man.
Yeah, he's right outside the city limits. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. you can-
I'm a fan, frankly.
Oh,
I
we're,
just want
I
to
think
throw
we,
it out
in
there.
seriousness,
Buddy,
we are all fans.
I'm
Everyone's
a fan.
Everyone's a fan of Buddy. Yeah.
Go,
Yeah,
buddy.
Todd's a huge fan, and they've never met.
I haven't met him, but just the sort of renegade, you know.
Old Town St. Helena.
God bless him.
The stories Buddy
I-
has are some of my favorite in this town. Like, what was Ray, when it was Ray's?
Ray's place.
Ray's Place.
Rosanna's,
Just those
yeah.
kind of stories from him there. I don't know if they're true.
Oh, they're all true. They always
Yeah,
continue
they're
to get
definitely
better.
true.
I've always heard if you needed a seat at the bar, you just ring the fire siren, and then the bar would open up.
Oh. Do you have a good one over there?
I don't know. I think it's all right. I mean, report of kids playing basketball on a closed campus at Hillville Place. All right, so we are in lockdown quarantine. What would you have your kids be doing? I mean, the options are quite a few, but I think I'd feel good about them playing basketball
Yeah.
on a campus, right?
Outdoors.
Outdoors. Yeah. So
I'll take it.
who is the C- human being that decided to call that in? Yeah, really. Seriously.
Agreed.
I mean, I hope they listen to this. They should be shamed. It's an
I think
embarrassment.
they have been shamed on community social media
Yeah.
Well, they
platforms.
Love
should
this-
be.
love this
They
town,
should be.
Helena.
Yeah.
Love this town, St. Helena is not a fan of anyone turning
No.
in the kids for playing
No.
basketball.
Let them be. Let
During
them
COVID.
kids be.
Yeah.
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 So-
Agreed, completely agree.
That's just somebody that just sucks.
I concur. Well, on Vineyard Avenue at 7:20 in the morning, report of a man using a chainsaw starting at 6:45 a.m.
Oh my God.
He had been advised at 8 a.m. start time, but he kept working. An officer told him that he would be cited if he continued prior to 8 a.m. I don't think I'd mess with a guy with a chainsaw.
Yeah, leave it be.
Chainsaw,
Maybe if he was whistling while he
machete.
worked, like the other workers,
Oh,
that would
true.
have helped.
Oh, that's a
I
vintage
gotta say,
police
like,
log.
I hope this doesn't make me older than I am, but is there anything worse than like a leaf blower or a chainsaw buzzing off early in the morning? It drives me bonkers. So
I don't know. There's a lot of C- people that call this stuff in. Though. I'm just saying.
tremendous amounts.
No, I would agree with that. Sleep is one of my top 3 favorite activities, and when it gets
What's
interrupted,
2 and 3?
we're not going to discuss those. I mean, I will say one of them is eating, for sure.
Oh, there's nothing better.
Like, and carbs. I'm not talking a salad.
I get it,
Like
for
pizza
sure.
with ranch.
And what? Hey, Pizzeria Trevina, pasta station not working Tuesday night. So
Yeah.
Travesty.
yeah, it is because I was jonesing for some rigatoni with extra chili flake tonight,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah, I called and I'd like to do some rigatoni, and he goes, our pasta station's down. It should be up tomorrow.
As in the flour, the eggs, and the water didn't show up today?
No, but they did for the pizza dough.
Which was important.
Mm-hmm. So maybe it was the pasta crank.
That could be. Pizza was good.
Yeah.
Pizza was good.
My salad was delicious.
I mean, tomatina's / pizzeria Torrini. I mean, that's good.
It's still in my
And
phone.
can we
list,
just throw some
Tomatino's.
love out to Jude over at Cook, which I
Yes.
think, God love him. I've dined in that restaurant since the day it opened. Single best dish in Northern California: the mussels and the red sauce with the spicy sausage. Love you, Jude. You know, I know it's been a challenge both professionally and personally, and just throwing some love your way. And we're gonna come in and crush your pasta because your pasta's station is
broken.
always up and running. And yeah, we're coming for you, man.
Oh, I love that place. Oh,
I
It is
do.
special.
So amazing.
It is so
Yeah,
special.
And Cook, if you want to sponsor us.
Yeah, really.
Cook, Steve's Hardware, Colgan. Who else was there?
Gots.
Gots.
Colgan, yeah, I'd love a sponsor from
Well, we already talked about them. We basically,
Yeah.
they owe us something. Maybe a hat.
For the shout out.
Yeah, think of the merch that they could be hooked up
I mean,
with.
Hillary's already into this
Swag
podcast.
bag.
At least $75. Speaking of restaurants in St. Helena, here in Sunday, August 16th at 17:51 dinner time, a caller ordered a pizza using his credit card and was concerned when the restaurant employee asked for the 3-digit code on the back of his card.
Wow.
No fraudulent charges had been made, but the caller was just concerned whether it was standard practice or not while ordering over the phone.
Has this person never done a takeout order?
I
Maybe
can
ask
attest
the
because
age of
the 3-digit code gets you like I want to say it's like 0.02% less on your merchant processing fees.
Whoa.
So applaud the employee or the management that is taking those extra points and putting them to their bottom line. I'm going to gauge 62 to the 84-year-old range.
Okay.
And definitely La Prima. That was had to be La Prima. Also, we'd love for La Prima to sponsor us.
Shout out to the Aldo Special, which
Yes.
is, as
Oh,
we
yes.
all know, the best
Golly.
pizza that La Prima makes.
I thought you were just about to say
How many
pizza.
times in school did you go up to like the top loft of La Prima and
Oh
have
my
pizza and Fanta up there? That was
And
amazing.
birthday
And
parties.
Fanta.
I always remember that. Fanta.
You still do that, right?
I mean, every Tuesday if I'm not doing a podcast.
La Prima.
Oh, do you guys remember the Spot?
Oh my gosh.
Talking about old St.
I
Helena
mean-
restaurants?
I do love press. However,
The Spot.
the spot. First, it actually.
Was that the milkshake joint?
Yeah.
Yes.
No, that was Gale's. Do you guys
Oh,
remember
yes, I
Gale's?
Oh, bring it back. That's cool.
Yeah. No, so the spot actually had a bowling alley. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I bet
Keep it classy.
before your time. But then once the bowling alley was gone, then it was just like a
A
great.
50s diner.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
50s.
right.
I'm
Yeah.
a fan of chicken
It
fried
had
steak.
like the
Did they
black
do
and white
chicken fried
checkered
steak there?
floor. You could get a.
But it
the
wasn't.
jukebox.
It wasn't this. It was the spot. It was the black. Yeah, that's right. With the black.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had this doll. Do you remember, guys, outside they had like the heaters, the space heaters?
Don't remember that.
Okay, well, I put my baby doll on one. They turned on the space heater. My baby doll caught on fire.
Were you in the police line?
Probably.
That was definitely.
My parents were probably just like, this is a normal Hillary thing, like a liability when we take her out in public.
Yeah.
So my dad then bandaged the doll up with athletic tape, and she was burn baby for the rest of the time.
Athletic tape because PE
Yes.
teacher.
Like 3-wrap
Hockey.
and athletic tape.
Oh yeah.
So we have
Save the
memories
baby
of the
doll.
Spot in my house.
Well, there also used to be a little general store where
Yep.
Dean and DeLuca is now, and that's where we would go and buy our lye so we could cure our
Olives? Cool,
yes,
cool.
which we're going to do again this year.
Yeah.
Well, I hope it turns out better than it did the other year. It was an absolute train wreck.
How did it
Was
go?
it a
We did
train
some
wreck?
last year too. It was really fun.
Yeah, they're really not that hard to do.
Yeah.
They're delicious also.
Yeah.
However, where the roadblock hit for me was the canning process. I just never let that happen. We got a little aggressive and did like 20 gallons of olives.
Ooh.
And so in order to can 20 gallons of olives, you know, it kind of takes like not just me.
A lot of glass.
And so Eddie and Luke kept bailing on me and never came to help me can the damn olives. And they went bad. It was really unfortunate.
Eddie and Luke. come
Eddie
on.
and Luke.
Oh, dear.
I
I bet you got the glass from Steve's Hardware.
I did. My ball jars.
Yeah.
Yes.
They have a lot of them.
Steve's.
God, Steve's, we're looking at you.
Hardware.
They have baseball caps too.
They do.
We've got baseball caps. I got some trucker baseball caps for you guys.
See, the hats are like the big thing.
It is.
They say so much.
They do.
That's how you say yeah.
In particular, the style of the hats, right?
Exactly.
There's no flat brim stuff running around here at Dakota Shy.
No. Well,
No.
no, that's not protective on your face.
Speaking of Steve's Hardware, not in the police log, however, this reminds me of Steve's. Report of an irate customer threatening to hit someone with a tape measure on Hillview Place. Okay, so
What
I want to back it up
for?
because it's a customer, right?
Yeah.
A store.
Where on Hillview?
On Hillview Place.
That's by the Adventist church, right?
Maybe.
No, that's where the RLS is.
Yeah.
So maybe it was like a contractor
That's what I'm thinking.
because they just redid a few houses in there.
That's true.
Oh, do you have an inside scoop
No,
to this?
no, I
Okay.
don't. I think I'm like waiting for you to
Yeah.
put it together.
Like,
Yes,
tell me.
very good, Hillary.
I'd like to know what happened with this tape measure.
Yeah, that's kind of wild. I mean,
aggressive.
I'm assuming it was a metal tape measure. Otherwise,
Just
As
a cloth
opposed
one.
to what?
Like those seamstress ones.
So
you can
like-
like whip it.
Okay.
I'm glad you guys are here. Todd and I be lost.
As opposed, yeah.
well, sometimes they're not metal. The metal ones are the best because they can go farther.
Yeah, and
you
they
know.
normally have the little clip on the
Yep,
end.
exactly.
Physically
and you can, like-
impossible for any man to
And then they go,
take a
"Ding."
tape measure out without extending it as far as possible by seeing it when it will crash. Saturday, August 15th. Did you hear about this one? This is interesting. 8:50 in the morning, report of a hot air balloon down in a remote area near Sulphur Springs Road. The CHP rescued the occupants via helicopter.
You know, I did hear about this.
Did they still get their champagne?
Did the proposal happen?
They rescued them via helicopter.
Yeah.
So
I
they
think
must
they
have
were like
been-
on a cliff.
Oh, it was bad.
Yeah.
I remember that day seeing the balloon, and every time you see a balloon at like Mount St. John or the West Hills,
Not good.
around 8 o'clock, you're like, they're
That's
not gonna make it out. That's a problem. They're
I
going
had
down.
just gone hot air ballooning a week before this.
I told you how dangerous it is. They've
I
had
mean,
4 or 5 hot
They
air
give
balloon
these
accidents.
licenses out. I mean, they're
Yeah,
always bombing.
We somehow ended up with our driver like on the way back, and we just quizzed him all about how to become a balloon pilot. So that's my next quest
And?
in life.
How easy is it?
No, it sounds kind of hard.
Probably.
Okay, but
You
have
sign
one
up
control.
online. Yeah,
Up,
yeah.
down, up, down. No, that's crazy. Are you kidding me? Up,
That's
down?
true. What about like no like
No, none of that.
No, it's up or down.
Up, down. Terrifying.
that does sound. I will never ever.
The balloon lobbyist group is going to come after us now.
Yeah. Hey,
So
you're gonna
we-
get some
We're
hate
gonna
mail.
get some
I'm finally going to get some hate mail.
you know, you haven't made it till you get some hate mail.
Mike
Throw
Carlson,
the, throw
look
the
at you.
cycling camp in with them too, because they seem to like co-mingle, don't they?
Probably.
Yeah, no, I feel like they co-mingle, like they share vans.
Sure, so.
Yeah.
They like drop everybody off. Yeah.
They probably do share the same bands.
They're on the corner of Sage Canyon and Silverado all the time.
I'm sure.
So Sage Canyon, a dangerous place to ride bicycles.
Oh,
Yeah, I
gosh,
mean,
that's
just
like
you
a
should. I mean, you
Don't do
know,
it.
Death wish.
Yeah. I see people all the time just when we scrape them
just
off the ground usually.
charging. And now, to all the cyclists out there, not hating, you know, but just, I mean, there are other places.
Off the brakes.
Safer
Yeah, like
places.
the bike trail that is straight and runs down.
Yep.
I was
Have
You know what?
wondering.
Yeah.
They pay taxes too, and they paid for those taxes to ride their bike on that road.
So now you're in support of
Well,
the
I wouldn't
cyclists.
say that. Well,
You're just showing us both
Listen.
sides.
I'm a capitalist. They pay their taxes, they can use the road. I understand. But they should probably err towards doing that from like 6 a.m. to 9 a.m., not 2 p.m.
No,
on a
that's
Saturday.
the worst time. That's when everyone's going out to work.
I used to live on Spring Mountain Road, and there were always cyclists on the
Like
weekend.
No, 6 a.m.
Yes.
to 9 a.m. is solid.
On the weekends?
Yeah,
Oh,
charge
yeah,
through.
yeah, okay. fine.
Yeah, that's
Well-
when I'm sleeping, not wanting the leaf blowers to wake me up.
Right. Well, right now you shouldn't be blowing your leaf blower because you're just blowing soot around.
Oh, true.
Very true.
And I
Well,
think
good
that
thing
was
I
in
don't
the-
have a leaf blower.
That was on some sort of document I saw somewhere. Don't use your leaf blower right
Don't
now.
blow it.
Don't blow it.
There was a report of a baby left in a parked car on Main Street. The caller saw the baby's mother come out once, then re-enter a restaurant.
A restaurant.
So the mom just wanted to go get some food
Have a drink. at the
Probably a
bar.
drink.
and just roll the windows down, watch the baby from afar.
That'll be fine.
That is terrible.
It's
And
like 2 in the afternoon.
Although compared to the 1980s,
Oh God!
relatively
Okay,
safe.
listen. I understand that it goes sideways real quick, but I mean, with the windows down and she was running in to pick
not
up
a
some
dog.
to-go food for, 48 seconds.
Well, we don't
Again,
know.
the PC of this world is going. It's just going off the rails. I mean, let the mom run in and pick up the food because she's been working all day. She's got children in the car. She's going home, feeding her family,
I
and
like
you
the
guys are
backstory of
judging
these.
her because she got out of her car for 48
Okay,
seconds.
let's take the other side. Mom
At 2 in the afternoon.
at 2 in the afternoon
Abandons
needs
her
a glass
baby.
of wine, leaves
Well,
her baby in the car.
Yeah, okay,
And
that's
then that
the
glass
tragedy.
of wine turns into 3 vodka sodas.
Well, I don't think that's a St. Helena, okay?
Oh, have you been to Goose and Gander? There's a lot of those moms with the vodka sodas.
Are they?
Have you been to Napkins?
Shit, I might. Hey,
Yeah. Actually, never mind. I don't want to.
Have
say
you
what
been
I-
to Napkins?
One
actually?
time.
We can cut
Oh,
that
that's
out.
true.
One time, and I don't care to give my take because
We weren't dating at that time, were we?
No.
Thank God.
Where do you guys go out? Where's like your? I mean, you're living in St. Helena, so that's easy. But what's
The watering hole is auberge.
Oh,
For Todd,
Yes.
I prefer the cantina.
I've had some memories at the cantina with you.
Yeah, listen.
Post
Everybody
weddings.
needs a little cantina.
We
in
are
their
trying to
life.
do a cantina episode.
Oh, in the at
In it
In
live.
the cantina.
Live.
Oh, fantastic.
Facebook Live.
You got to do that when it's like Thursday night DJ hour, right?
Yeah.
Or just right before the DJ kicks off.
Before
We might have to do it like on
DJ
a lunch
Boca
hour.
Negra?
with Kat.
Yeah, really.
DJ
Oh,
Diplo.
DJ Diplo. Listen, I think one of the greatest tragedies of COVID is not being able.
Did you go to Outdoor Anna's and get a hot dog?
No, but I
All
saw
beef
a lot.
or
of,
lips and asshole?
You know.
I mean, which one was it? I mean, I don't like the lips and asshole hot dogs.
yes, you do.
Bullshit. I'm an all beef man.
I didn't clarify.
What kind of meat you got in this hot dog?
Hey, 11 o'clock at night at Anna's. No
Oh,
one's clarifying.
I definitely went like 5:30 p.m. once and like had dinner.
Okay, disregard.
All right, so was it boiled or was it grilled? The hot dog.
I think it was
It's
on one of
critical.
those,
One of those, like-
little.
Yeah, a flat top. Okay, solid.
It was not bad.
I thought they used to do Mexican food.
I think they did. There's a whole
They used to
kitchen
have like lunch
in there.
back there.
Yeah.
All right, just go to Azteca and call it. You don't go to Anna's. I love Anna's, but just go to Azteca and get the tacos.
Have you
They're
guys
the
ever
best.
thrown the dollar bills on the ceiling?
Yes.
In my youth.
In your youth. Oh.
Oh, we're still going.
Oh.
You know, I think there's room for
Yeah,
some dollar
right.
bills in Dakota Shy.
Wait, actually, I have a story about that.
Yeah.
So one time I was there, and it was like a very respectable time of the evening. It was like 8.
Oh well. Yeah.
So I don't know. I was
Yeah.
there, but
And
maybe that's
it was, Monday.
Yeah. I was entertaining a friend and her sister. And anyways, we take her to Anna's because she'd never been and she'd heard us talking about it. And we were like, oh, you know, there's all these dollars on the ceiling. We're telling her all about it. And I'm sitting at one of the little bistro tables and a roll of quarters falls out of the sky and hits me on my eyebrow and slices it open. And I'm like, oh my God. And I've got, there's blood everywhere. And some guy over by the pool table was trying to get $1 in the ceiling and he fucked it up and it like ricocheted off and hit me in the head. Not kidding.
A roll of quarters or a quarter?
They use like
It's like a silver dollar.
They tape, don't they?
Yeah,
tape
you tape
quarters.
You tape quarters up because you need the weight.
Yeah, so then you propel it up.
roll the dollar over the quarter with the pin and then you stick it that way.
Yeah, but you
and
need
then
more
the
than
quarter
one
falls
quarter.
back.
Right. Well, Ding Dong had done like
You don't need more than one quarter. I've
They
done it with one
hand
quarter
you
all the
like
time.
a stack of what, 3 or 4?
I thought it was a silver dollar. Maybe I'm wrong.
maybe it's I don't know. It
Did
was
you
a
get
lot
stitches?
of No, I
Did he
didn't get
pay for them?
stitches. But I did get a free beer. So
So guess who came out on top? Ding
yeah,
dong?
so and no scar.
And
I
no
thought you were gonna
scout.
say he ran over to like save the day.
No,
or something.
he didn't even. No, Kat gave me a free beer.
Thank you.
The
Cat.
guy didn't buy me beer.
Wow.
Anyways,
That's new level.
he probably went out the back and was like, "Oh my God, sorry."
I don't think you can get out the back that often anymore.
What?
Sometimes
Really?
they
That
like
was
close it off.
my move.
Well, maybe you can't
It's
come
Irish
in.
Irish
Irish
exit, man.
goodbye.
Always.
Maybe you can't come
Always.
in.
That's right.
You know, the best move at Anna's is when you're not really sure if anybody's there and you're like leaving the crab or the lobster feed or the whatever.
Lobster feet.
The lobster feed, great event. And you're like, okay, let's check out Anna's, but we don't want to creep from the outside. So you do the walkthrough, and you like walk in, you kind of look around, and then you just straight out the back.
True.
If no one,
If it doesn't look good.
And that's Ashley's watering hole for a good decade. Good decade plus.
where I had my first legal beverage.
I went there on my 21st birthday too.
Did you?
It lasted a half hour.
I lasted all night.
You know,
It's a professional.
Yeah.
But now you guys have your own watering hole, which is exciting.
Here?
So
Yeah.
so I mean, you guys do tastings. Like how can
right.
people? We're doing an after hours tasting watering hole. But I mean, do you get a lot of people in here for tastings? How's the?
We used to before all this COVID shit hit. Yeah, we do. So, a lot of our model is kind of that direct-to-consumer base. So we can kind of cut the fat out, and just do what we do. Farm grapes, make great wine, and then bring people into the tasting room and tell them a story that has substance, just like a lot of other stories around here, and just try and carve out our little niche in this awesome space we call St. Helena, Napa Valley. Oh, yes. No other place in the world. For work, I travel all over the country, and I love America. Don't get me wrong. I'm all about
Pro-America.
Very
America.
pro-America here. Yeah, bank that. Send that.
Write
Make
that
sure you
down.
don't cut that. No, but we are. And I've traveled, and I see a lot of great places, but man, when the wheels touch down on the airports in this area, whew, does it feel good. It's like an exhale, and you know that what we live in and where we're at, we are very, very fortunate, special few, and it should never be lost. And in these challenging times, it magnifies that part even more. I just got back. I think I was on the road for 38 days, and it was special. I was bombing through America. I mean, I grew up around farming, so it was cool to be in the Midwest and seeing, 6 combines and 4 grain trucks and 2 semis and just running and the sun setting and the dust kicking up, and the sunsets they were special. It was awesome. It was a beautiful thing. But you see that, but then when I get back home, and there's such an exhale to be here and recognize just how special a place it is. So you guys grew up around here. I'm sort of a transplant. I recognize that I'll always be that in that regard, but I mean, this is my home. My adult life has been spent here, and it's not lost on me how special it is.
well, that's good.
Love it.
Well, and I also think that people with your perspective remind the rest of us. I mean, I'm sure all of us at one point had the thought in high school, like, oh my God,
I'm never coming
I
back.
cannot wait to get out of here. I'm never coming back. It's such a small town.
And then
blah,
you
blah, 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 blah.
leave.
And then you leave.
You're like,
Regar-
oh my god.
Yeah, and then you come back and you realize just how great it really is.
So if we wanted to buy wine, how do we get in contact with you? Do you have Instagram, Twitter?
We do. We have a couple. We've got Dakota Shy Wine on Instagram, and then we just launched this new one called the Shyway Tour. Shyway Tour at Shyway Tour, and you can check us out there. Kind of see the musings of what we're doing. I bring my creative director along for like a week at a time, and we're kind of documenting this thing, because when else in life are you able to kind of just jump on board with some of your good friends and just cruise through America and maybe step back from, all the negatives that COVID's kicked down. I'm trying to dig deep in it. Trust me, I'm digging deep to find the positives with this shit, man. But I am trying to find them, and I think that there's good medicine as to what we're doing and how we're doing it. And I think that there's a connection that we're having with our supporters, the people that buy and drink wines, because the reality is there's so much good wine in Napa Valley that the only way you can really separate yourself is how do you get to the who and the how and the why that's behind the wine, which is every bit as important as what's in the bottle. And I think you gotta bring it for what's in the bottle, but then you gotta compete on the who, the how, and the why. And to be able to bring that story and articulate that on the road with your buddies, and in a time in which I don't know that there'll ever be an opportunity for me to do something like this again, it's not lost on me how special it is. And it's just so far it's been really good medicine and a lot of fun.
I feel like this is like the perfect
cool.
trailer for a Netflix documentary.
It really
We're
is.
working on it, actually. Yeah, we've got some video blog episodes going.
Just deciding between Netflix and Hulu. I know it's a big
Right.
decision.
You know what? We're a Netflix camp. Netflix, we love you, Stacy. I'm talking to you, Stacy. We love you. We've got. I've got a friend, a brother, a guy I love dearly, deeply. He's the best of the best. His daughter, he works there at, or she works at. Did the dog just fart? Jesus, that's gross. Oh, you can taste
Hey, who is the
it.
dog? We never get to meet.
Augie.
Oh, that's Augie.
Augie.
Augustus, but my God, that dog. Been feeding him a little
Augustus
extra
flatulence.
salami on the side or something.
No, I mean, well, it's pepperoni pizza. You might have got a little grease. Anyways, Stacy, we would like to talk to you in the future. Yes.
Well,
So if there's one thing that sets Dakota Shy apart, what would you say it is? The grapes? Is the winemaking? Is it the people? What?
What's the one thing?
What
It's
thing
a
you're most-
grinder. I mean, it's a grinder's way of doing it. You know, like this is a very capital intensive business. I came from very humble beginnings, and we put the work in. We just put the work in, top to bottom, left to right, inside and out. I think that's not really. I don't know that separates us from anybody, but that's our mojo. Our magic is we'll outwork you, and that's where we do it.
That's great.
Cool.
Oh man, Augie! Wow, that was,
Yeah.
that was a bomb.
Lingering.
You know, that was very eloquent for the smell situation that's going on right now. I'm impressed.
Yeah, I mean it's foggy.
It's foggy Augie. Wow. Well, on that note,
Thank you.
guys. Todd,
Yeah.
Do
Ashley.
you want to say where they can reach us?
You can reach us at 911 Podcast on the Instagrams.
Yes.
You can find us. I always look at him. Am I saying this right? I don't know.
Yes, the Instagrams with an S.
Yeah, the
internet.
Snap tweets. I think we're on Snap tweets.
We're not.
Not
we don't have
Snap
Snapchat or we don't tweet.
Good. It's too much work.
There, yeah, I don't
But
have that much
there
time
are
in the
hats
day.
for sale. I understand.
There are.
So $20
Cute little
per hat.
snapbacks.
Helps support
Plus shipping if you don't live local.
911 with your cool 911 hat. As always, Hillary, you're doing a great job with this podcast. Thank you for letting me just show up and be a
Thank
part
you
of
for
it.
showing up.
Anytime.
Well, thanks, guys. Cheers.
Cheers. That was fun.
All right. Well, that wraps up another episode of 911 Wine.
And remember, guys, stay out of the police log. And if you can't be good, be careful.
Gentlemen, may I ask that at 43, you enjoy your evening and be safe.